Well, I did get my door handles and locks in, and I put my fender extractors in. I'm going to take the car and move it over to the other lift. This lift did something funky to me when I was letting the car down after I buffed it. I blew evidently a seal in my hydraulic ram. It poured fluid out. Luckily, I got the car on the ground before all that happened, but yeah, I'm gonna move this over to a different lift so I can repair this one. Back in a minute. Okay, I got the car moved over here. I'm gonna tackle this trunk today. That's my goal. I gotta get first I gotta get cleaned up. I gotta get all that dirt cleaned out of there with the sweeper. Then I'll go ahead and clean it really well. And then I've got to put seam sealer in. The seam sealer goes all the way over there, all the way down the line. You can see where I put the new panels in. I need to get that seam sealer in right along here. So I gotta get that all cleaned out. And once I get it cleaned up, get the seam sealer in, then I'll go ahead and paint the trunk. I'll be back in a little bit and show you how that works. All right, I got the trunk cleaned out. I'm getting ready to put that seam sealer in there. It shouldn't take very long to put that in, and it should harden pretty quickly. I got the seam sealer over here. Just some cheap seam sealer for the trunk. Flashlight. I do have some solvent in here, a little bit. I'll show you what I do with that as soon as I get some of that seam sealer in. So let me get this set up and I'll get started. All right, here I go. We just put a bead down there, and this is where the reducer comes in. You just put it on your finger. You can smooth that out. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that's how that works. I'll do the other side and I'll be back in a bit. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just spray some black paint in the whole trunk. It's to give it a base. in no way has to be perfect. And I'm going to keep spraying all this trunk in black, and I'll be back in just a few. Okay, that's the black. As you can see, just painted black to just give me the base. I'm going to let this air out a little bit. Don't have your head down there too long in the fumes, unless you want to do that, but I would recommend you don't. And I'll get the splatter paint ready, and I'll show you how that is, but that's just in spray cans too. So I'll be back in a sec. Show you what I'm using as my splatter paint. This is just Duplicolor black and gray. I hear this is really hard to get right now. I bought this last year. I bought 6 cans of it. And I see they're selling on eBay for an awful lot of money right now. So I'm glad I bought these when I did. But you see you got a black base down. All you gotta do is shake this up really, really good. It's gonna come out kind of clear at first. All right, here we go. You kind of see it's getting speckled. Since this is kind of hurting my finger, I'm going to switch to a spray can. Got this really nifty spray can thing. Periodically shake it. Okay, my head out of them fumes. But you can see what it's like. I'm going to keep going on this. I'll get this all covered. Got to let that air out a little bit, so I'm sticking my head down in that all the time. And I'll be back in a little bit to show you the finished results. All right, there it is, done. I'm going to go ahead and unmask it, get all this tape and everything off here, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like inside the trunk. Be back in a sec. Still drying a little bit, but you can see good old splatter on it. Looks pretty decent. So I'm going to call the trunk done. Now I can move on to other things. Thanks for watching. Later. Since my trunk is done, and I've had this tail panel together with the letters and everything, I'm going to go ahead and put the tail panel on the car. I'll go over there and get things set up and get it fastened to the car and show you what it looks like on the back of the car. Back in a sec. All right. Got that tail panel installed. Took a little longer than I thought. All it is 4 nuts and 4 washers to attach it. But man, that trunk lid gap's got to be right, and that keyhole's got to be right. What a pain in the butt. But hey, I got it on there. That's where I'm at now. I think I'm going to go try to find the tail lights. See how those look. Back in a few. All right, tail lights are in. Little hard to find parts. I had to run into town to get some new washers, and not actually washers, but nuts that had washers attached to them. Because I only had 1 tail light when I originally got the car, so I didn't have enough nuts or anything, but it hooked me up. So, all right, next thing, I think I'm going to try to get that spoiler on the back. Be back in a few. Spoilers on. Bolted down. And you know what I said earlier, long ago, about painting your parts separate, and I didn't know if they really would be a different color since your mixture is exactly the same. Well, that spoiler looks like it's one shade darker. So I'm going to live with it. I really, really like it, and I'm just going to live with it. So, can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. All right. See about getting these rear marker lights put on next. All right, rear marker lights in. Now this one didn't fit as well as I'd hoped, but that's the way it goes. It looks pretty dang good though. Also installed the front ones. All this coming together pretty good. Need to get it up in the air. Actually, it looks like a car again. Sitting around the shop just in pieces. If I had to get some help put that rear bumper on so I don't scratch the heck out of stuff and get those brackets set up. I need to go find those brackets. If you enjoy my videos, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Later.